Hello, this is wmpyr. This is a video response to my friend who just made his first YouTube video. He is talking about martial arts and self-defense, and for it, he believes that breathing is a good place to start for just about anyone. And I think he makes a really good point because, to me, basically what he's saying is that no matter what style it is that you practice, no matter what technique that you intend to use, you want to be doing it in a calm state of mind, or as calm as possible. And breathing is something that's definitely going to help you have a calm mind. So if you breathe properly, then you are going to be able to make better decisions on the fly in the moment when things are so chaotic and hectic, and there's going to be a lot of stress and adrenaline and these kinds of things going on. So if you have the ability to stay calm at such a moment, then your execution of technique, your ability to make quick critical judgments right there on the spot, those things are going to, it's just going to benefit you more. So it's common sense, and that I can completely agree with. So that's what he's really talking about. So it's like before you start focusing on the weapon, and in this case the weapon is martial arts, he's saying let's first focus on the person using it. Let's make sure that their mind is going to be sound. You want to be making a judgment on a clear mind, and what's going to help you do that under stress is proper breathing techniques, or the practice and the awareness of breathing, and to be able to control that to a certain extent. So yeah, that makes total sense to me, and I like that approach for sure. It's almost like a traditional martial arts approach where they go, starts with the breathing. So that's not uncommon in traditional martial arts practice. Now, that being said, another point of view that I'd like to share also, and I'm still agreeing with the guy, is that when you take a look at something like MMA, all right, yes, you learn techniques and stuff, but the first thing that any combat sport, it doesn't just have to be MMA, it could be boxing, kickboxing, judo, it could be anything. If you don't have the cardio, then you're not going to be able to go in there, and it doesn't matter if you're a 6-degree black belt or whatever, but if you don't have enough of the physicality, you are not going to do well in those environments. Why? Because I think those events show you that yes, skill is important, yes, technique, it can definitely help you perform really well and stuff. But before that, more of a priority, what comes first, not saying it's more important or better, but what comes first is you got to be fit, is your fitness. And what is fitness? Fitness is not a technique. Fitness is an attribute. So in MMA or in any combat sport or even in a street fight, when you're talking about using this stuff for real, when we're talking about performance, attributes comes before technique. So this is why I personally feel that technique is overrated. People tend to want to practice technique first. They want to pick the right style and work on technique. Please show me the most lethal techniques. That's the way people view it. But before that, I think attribute is actually what you're going to immediately be using in any situation, in combat, whether you're military or whether it's a combat sport or it's a street or self-defense in your home, a home invasion or a riot situation or whatever. You're going to be using your attributes first. Technique, you may or may not be able to use it. It depends on the situation, depends on the opponent. It may or may not happen. So the technique comes later. So the first thing is attributes. So within attributes, what are attributes? You have strength, you have speed, you have explosiveness, you have reflexes, and then you have things like a person who has durability, and then you have other things like the person who enjoys violence. That's an attribute. A person who gets hit and it just makes them more stronger. Like they feed off of that. Kind of like when Bruce Lee gets cut and he tastes his own blood and he goes wild. That's an attribute right there. And of course, the ability to stay calm during a high stress situation. This is another attribute. All the attributes can be trained. So if you want endurance, you got to go train cardiovascular training. You got to do that kind of stuff. With reflexes, there's ways to train your reflexes and stuff. I believe there's ways to train to make you tougher. So for toughness. And now we're talking about the ability to stay calm. I think breathing, being able to control your breathing, this kind of thing is very important in that sense. So I absolutely agree with my buddy here. Please check out his YouTube video and show him some support. I'm going to post the links and stuff. And please leave a comment or something so that he could, it could challenge his brain and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you for watching and take care, folks.